Simon here from Zelena Homes. Welcome to our project out to Lewis. Today we just want to update you and walk you through the roof setup and what's going on behind me in the background. Low pitch roofs. Well, low pitch roof is a roof that's generally 5 degrees and under, and on this particular project we're working to a 2-degree pitch. We've had to design the roof and the makeup of the roof to ensure that we can adequately ensure that we get water flow, condensation management and water management. So what that means is that we just can't rely on our roof sheet to move the water off our roof. So what we've had to do is actually build our roof up accordingly to ensure that we can manage the condensation and the water flow of condensation underneath that roof as well. Our roof build up. Having a low pitch roof changes the way in which our roof structure is constructed. So being a flat roof, water moves a lot slower underneath it. So we have to ensure that we mitigate this. And by mitigating this, we use a solid surface such as ply, an OSB or a vapour-permeable ply, and then on that we install our Clima Adhero. So this prevents any ponding or any sagging that could traditionally be caused by your roof rats. So having a nice solid surface, one, allows the roofers to work on safely, but also two, allows condensation and water management under the roof to escape freely. Why did we use Adhero? Well, the reason why, Adhero is a great product. It can be used on pitches for 5 degrees and under on flat roofs. It's fully adhesive, so it doesn't require any penetrating, any fixings through it. It adheres itself to the plywood and it helps with condensation. It's vapor permeable, so we can breathe as well. And that's why we've chosen to use it on this project. Our aim on this project is to get this house wrapped and watertight as soon as we can. So as soon as our frames, trusses were installed, we've started with the construction of our roof build up here. So our ply, our Adhero, our roof battens. Once that was done, we're able now to work inside or work on the external cladding before the roof is even installed. So we're able to pick up time and hopefully bring forward our build time a lot quicker than a conventional roof. I just want to run through the structural setup of this roof with you. Because it's a flat roof, we need to take in consideration the makeup of how this roof is structured. So we've got a 45mm batten, a 5mm packer. This is required. You need a 50mm ventilation cavity under our roof here. This ensures that we get proper airflow, one, to dry the roof and also to allow for condensation management, which on cold days in Victoria is extremely important. So firstly, 45mm counter batten. We use our Tescon Nadeck, which is a self-adhering tape. So any penetrations through that, it bonds itself and it prevents any water moisture build up going through here. Then we have our 45mm roof batten, and from that, we have our fixing that goes through both the batten and the counter batten and the installation of our roof sheet. And that is the roof build up of this low pitch roof. Let's talk about the difference between vapor permeable and waterproof. We have our roof sheet here, which is a waterproof product. However, we have a vapor permeable membrane which sits underneath your roof. Now that means that water can escape, or condensation can escape through that being vapor permeable, whereas your roof sheet is waterproof. So that allows for the water runoff to come through. So the importance of the vapor permeability of our membrane here is to allow for that moisture to escape, to minimise and mitigate the buildup of condensation. And by us having our ventilated cavities that run through up our external wall fabric and down through underneath our roof, ensures that we can get the cross-flow ventilation to mitigate that vapour and the water condensation underneath our roof. Just want to run you through our wall build-up. So here we have is our waterproof, weather-resistant membrane, our Clima Extasana. We have our various flashing tapes. What is going to consist and make up the wall build-up is various layers of battens. So here we have our counter batten. On the underside of that is our Nadeck tape. It's fixed to the wall, shot on, and then we have what we call our battens. Effectively is we have a counter batten, our wall batten, and then we'll have our external cladding. Once this is all installed, this allows then for a fully ventilated cavity. So this mitigates and regulates airflow, reduces condensation build-up, because with our airflow we can flow down, any condensation can go down the cavity, but also too allows it then to go into our roof space as well. So we're able to control airflow and moisture management within our wall cavity and our roof cavity. Just want to run through the two types of systems that we're using. On our walls, we've got our Solitex Extasana, and on the roof, we have our Extasana Adhero. Both are watertight, airtight, resistant barriers, both vapor permeable. Purpose is to get these house wrapped as quick as possible to ensure that one, we can protect our timber frame from moisture attack, two, we can get inside start working, pick up on schedule so we can get this build done in a more efficient time frame. So on this project, we've gone down the route of using prefab walls and trusses, one being winter. Two, it allows us to efficiently and effectively get the frames installed in a much quicker program, which then allows us to then look at wrapping the roof in its entirety and also to wrap in the external walls. And the aim here is to ensure that we can ensure that the frames remain dry and we can start working in the home as soon as possible. Now, it's all very well and said that, it'd be great to work inside the home, but also too, we need to ensure that, prior to wrapping, we need to be diligent about checking the moisture control in your frames, because you don't want to be wrapping too early if your frames have been drenched through the winter season. So it's always good, if you've got a moisture tester, just as you're going through the process, double check where that reading's sitting at and ensuring that your moisture levels need to be where they are before wrapping and starting to work inside. So here I have a water meter and it measures the moisture content within the timber frame structure. So the reason why we use it is to ensure that the timber isn't holding more moisture than what it should be. That could be because it's exposed to the external elements, but also to ensuring that it's where it needs to be sitting before we start cladding and wrapping the house. All right, it's roughly sitting at 14%. Now, for example, if there is moisture sitting in your timber frames and you start wrapping it, it probably won't allow the moisture to escape. So you want to ensure that your frame should be under a certain percentage before you start wrapping or continuing on with the external cladding of your house. Just a quick overview of the installation of our Solitex Extasana. So once our frames are straightened, we come through, we start setting out where our wrap's going. We've set our lines, our wrap protrudes past our bottom plate to ensure that it's down on the slab. It's adhered to the slab base, and then we actually fix the wrap at certain stages and intervals. And if any stapling has occurred, we ensure that they are covered up with tape to ensure, one, we're keeping the water tightness, and also two, ensuring that there's no air loss when we go get our blower door test done. Then what we do, we then start to set out where our wall battens are going. So we've installed our counter battens and their locations. What's to follow next is the installation of our wall battens. And these will typically be installed across these and actually fixed off, screwed fixed into our wall frame. That's going to give us a ventilation cavity to allow for airflow and water management control. What's to follow at a later stage in the project will be the external cladding, and hopefully this will then allow and create a high performance wall build up. So you're probably wondering what all this means for the homeowner. Well, less heat loss, less drafts and better acoustics for the home.